It's time for the Income for Life Daily Dime. Reactions and analysis on important financial news that impacts you in 10 minutes or less. Brought to you by the podcasting pros at Third Wheel Media. If you're a financial professional, estate planning attorney, real estate agent, or any small business owner, Third Wheel Media has a podcasting production package that fits your needs. Visit thirdwheelmedia.com to find out more. Now, here's today's Daily Dime.
Welcome to the Income for Life Daily Dime, powered by our friends at Folds of Honor and Third Wheel Media. Our quick hit discussion on a retirement and financial planning topic in 10 minutes or less. And Nick, we have a really neat daily dime that we're going to talk about right now, which is talking about what is your spending personality. There's a lot of retirees and near retirees out there that have, maybe put together a retirement income plan, or maybe they're about to, but how they spend their money, how they spend that money is very, very different. And we got 4 different types of spenders that we're going to talk about here real quick. And the first one is the emotional spender. So, Nick, talk about the emotional spender.
I like this one, Matt, in the fact I like the overall topic because I think many of our listeners are going to one of these 4 top.
You're going to be one of these 4.
You're going to fit into one. And maybe you overlap a little bit, but one of these is going to hit home to you.
One's going to be the primary for you.
Because it's how you think about money and how you live your life with that. It's not a measuring stick. Money is a tool. So how do you use that tool and how do you think about it?
How do you spend it?
The first one is the emotional spender. So lots of times this person will save, but something might trigger. Maybe it's an ad in a thing, or maybe it's a circumstance in life. Maybe they got a promotion or something else, but then they go and splurge on something.
And we hear it all the time.
Yes.
Hey, did you have a great day? Yeah, okay, let's go out to eat, right?
Correct.
Have a horrible day. Let's go out to eat.
Yeah, let's go to happy hour.
And try to forget about it.
Let's go shopping, or let's do something.
Yeah.
So it's finding a rationale to go spend some money, where most of the time they might try to save and penny pinch a little bit, but anytime they get some emotional trigger, they want to go spend some money or use that as a release.
Yeah, and it's I'm stressed, I'm tired, I don't want to cook, let's go out to eat. Whatever the scenario might be, I had a great day, I had a bad day, let's go do something. So the emotional spender, you hear it all the time. You see it all the time. You and I, Nick, we know each one of these 4. The emotional spender, absolutely. I had an awful day. Let's go out.
Yes.
So that's the emotional spender. Let's jump into number 2 here, which is the YOLO spender. That's the you only live once spender. So that's the one that the person that spends money based on you only live once philosophy. So let's talk about that person.
This is the person, and everybody's got a few or at least one of these in their life or in their circle of friends that they have, that this is the person that likes to, whatever money they make, they spend. They have all the toys. They go on all the vacations. Doesn't mean they can't afford it, but they're not really worried about long-term saving and investing. They might have some of those things, but if they have free income, they're spending it. And they're spending it on things that they enjoy, things that they really like to do, and they're always the one planning for a vacation or buying the boat or buying a motorcycle or taking the kids to a different thing. They're fun. They like to do things. They like to involve people, and they're probably driving the nicest car in the group.
Absolutely. And the YOLO spender kind of ties into that emotional spender. They're very similar in their makeup, because you only live once is also kind of an emotional thing, but
they're more freewheeling in their day-to-day.
More freewheeling in the day-to-day. So that's the YOLO spender. Let's jump into number 3, which is the savvy spender. Okay, very balanced spending personality. Spend when needed, but always just very frugal in what they do. So let's talk about that person.
This is the person. I think of my mother as this, clipping coupons. Always saving, looking at the right deal.
Not afraid to spend.
Not afraid to spend.
But gonna do my homework on it first.
Exactly. I got to understand what I'm purchasing, and I got to really rationalize that this is a good deal. And lots of times when they think it's a good deal, they'll buy a ton of it.
Right. Exactly.
And so they're not afraid to spend, but they want to understand what they're buying. They don't want to feel like they're overspending for something. They want to take advantage of a sale. Right. They want to take advantage of midnight madness.
All those.
They want to take advantage of whatever's going on, but they're thinking about each dollar they spend, and they're doing it in a way that they trust and like and can rationalize.
And the savvy spender believes in the quality over quantity.
Yes.
But, they want to make sure that it's worth it, right?
Correct.
So they're going to do their homework. And one neat thing about the savvy spender is they clearly believe in that spending on experiences is better than spending on stuff.
Yes.
Whereas, the YOLO spender or the person that gets all those toys or whatever it might be, the savvy spender is not afraid to spend money, but they want to make sure that they're doing it in a way that makes sense, and they want an experience out of it more so than I just want to go buy a boat.
Get the most bang for the buck, and you can do that in a lot of ways. And savvy spenders, and I know there's many of you listening, understand what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Now let's jump into the fourth of your spending personality, and that's the miser. So let's talk about the miser. Any sort of spending, even when necessary, is stressful and guilt-inducing, always trying to cut corners at all costs. Usually this personality is based on some sort of fear about not having enough. And you see it all the time.
Correct. And lots of times, many of these things are about the way somebody was raised or how they grew up and how their loved ones and other people valued a dollar, experienced a dollar, what they had before. The miser is very frugal. They don't understand why anybody would spend money on going out to eat or a brand new vehicle or any of these things. They're the one driving around in the car that they had, the first thing that they bought, and that was used, and they fix it up all the time. Not that they don't have money. They just are scared to spend it.
Oh.
Don't see the value in spending it.
Why do I want to spend money on that?
Why would I want that?
I know how you were explaining how you felt like your mom was one of these up here. The miser was my dad, God bless his soul. My dad was that guy. And it's funny because my mom and my sister were actually talking about how they were going to go to IHOP and get that extra salsa because my dad would always complain about having to pay 89 cents for a little container of salsa. What are you talking about? Why would I want to do that? That's ridiculous. That's just kind of how he was.
Yep. And your dad's not alone. There's so many people.
Makes me laugh every time.
And it is a chuckle because they're the ones that remember back to, well, I can't believe that orange juice costs this much, or I can't believe that gas prices are this. They remember back to when it was in the price that they thought was reasonable, and they don't understand why anybody would pay anything different.
And the miser people, they're all over the place. And like you said, Nick, it usually comes down to how they were raised, maybe the environment that they were in whenever they were a kid, and what their parents and maybe grandparents instilled in them. Correct. So that is the 4 spending personalities that we decided to go through today here on the Daily Dime because we both, Nick, you and I, thought that they were just interesting to have this flow of these types of personalities.
I think one of these is going to fit everybody.
Every person listening is one of these.
And none of them are right or wrong. They just are. And when you can recognize which one you are or which 2 maybe you fit into, then you can start to have a conversation and maybe change some of the things and how you look at it. But in the end, you are the way you are. So when you're having a retirement conversation, understanding how you value money.
Understanding your own personality can literally determine how you build your retirement plan.
Exactly. That's exactly.
And if you know where you are in this scale, or maybe you're like, oh, I'm this guy, but sometime I'm this guy, or sometime I'm this person. Okay, out of these 4, kind of what's your priority? What's the biggest one out of this? And let's build your retirement plan around that personality.
You might not use these 4 categories, but if you're not having this conversation with your financial professional, of how you value money and the way that you see it and the way that you want to spend it, not only now, but in retirement, this is the cornerstone of retirement planning.
Absolutely build your retirement plan around your personality. And that's what we do here at Income for Life. So again, thank you very much for listening to this Daily Dime on the Income for Life show. Again, powered by our friends at Folds of Honor and Third Wheel Media. Thank you very much for listening today, and bye-bye for now.
This has been the Income for Life Daily Dime. Reactions to and analysis of the important financial news of the day in 10 minutes or less. For help with your financial and retirement plan, call 888-228-8814 or visit incomeforlife.org. The Daily Dime is brought to you by the podcasting pros at Third Wheel Media. Do you need a turnkey solution to launching and maintaining your own podcast? We have packages for business professionals that provide you with content, editing, posting, social media, and all the steps in between. We can make the podcasting process simple and effective. Book a free consultation at thirdwheelmedia.com and mention you heard about us on the Daily Dime for access to an exclusive discount on our services. That's thirdwheelmedia.com. Information provided on today's show is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment, tax, or legal advice. Information is obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Always consult with a qualified professional before taking any action.